Alrighty then, Successful Indie Author 5-Minute Focus, episode 537, the ebb and flow of a story. There's Stanley. We're getting ready to go out, so he'll be up in a minute. All right. There's a natural rhythm to human beings, the circadian rhythm, where circadian with an N, we have the ebbs and flows of our day. Sometimes we feel great, other times we feel tired. We just know what those points are, and we take a nap, or we go to bed if it's at night. When it comes to a story, we have energy, and we want to bring energy to the story and to the reader and get them excited, but we have to bring them down too. You can't keep them up at this excited state all of the time. Otherwise, they boil off, right? Isn't that what chemistry teaches you? So raise the excitement level and then lower it at a natural point. Think about the times when the character needs a break. The character needs to get a cup of coffee. The character needs to go to the bathroom. I mean, you don't have to put that stuff in the story, but the reader needs those breaks too. Give them those natural pauses. It becomes painful if you're jumping from one action to the next, to the next, to the next. And yes, we want to keep the readers reading, but we don't want to make their hearts explode. And that's the thing with horror movies, where it's a constant one after another. And yes, horror movies do well, and that is one kind of target audience, but there's only so much of that a reader or a viewer can take. They don't daisy chain horror movies one after another, day after day. But whale readers do read books like that. But can they read books like that if it constantly keeps their heart rate up? And I suggest that answer is no. They need to take that pause and come back down. So you have your conflict and you have your resolution within a scene. Then you have the transition, and then you create more conflict, have a resolution, transition. In action thrillers, that transition is shorter. The resolution is quicker. However, you still have it. You still have to have it. You still have to then build up the tension for the next scene. You have the tension and the relief. You have the action. You have the transition. All of those elements go into, but there has to be that flow. Trying to maintain a constant state of high energy is not just a challenge, but it's also going to create some problems for you and for your readership if they're not used to that. Now, if that's the readership you've developed, then understand it. But getting new readers into that, if there's no natural pauses, there's no flow, the sine wave of action as we're looking for within a story. And if you use authors.ai, looking for to get a AI review of your story, they address that. They have highs, lows, and a flow within a story, and how long between action, how short between action sequences, and it gives you an estimate and bases that on, then takes a look and say other books like this have this kind of action sequence. And they might say, hey, this is way too long of a dead spot, a dead space. You need something to ramp it up. So helpful there. But think about that natural rhythm of tension relief, of conflict. Set the scene up, the conflict, the resolution, set the next scene up, conflict, resolution, and then you go through until you tell your story and you're done. All right? Hopefully that helps. Think of it that way. Think about that flow. Think about your reader, that they need to take a break too. And even if it's a mental break as you're drifting down from the resolution and creating a transition for the next scene, they need that break. They'll appreciate it. It'll set them up for the next one and get them ready to go. All right. Peace, fellow humans.